Welcome to Farm Talk, where we look at issues that affect agriculture and ranching here in the natural state. Brought to you by Heritage Agriculture. Here is your host, Mike Linton.
Welcome to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm your host, Mike Linton. My guest today is Arkansas Secretary of Education, Mr. Johnny Cte. Johnny, welcome back to Arkansas Farm Talk.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be here.
Yeah, all right. For just a few people that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Secretary of Education since 2019 under the Governor's Transformation Initiative for state government. Before that, I was Commissioner of the department at the time. But my background is rural Arkansas. Grew up in Gurdon, Arkansas. Was involved in 4-H all through from the time I was what they would call a clover bud now, all the way up till graduation. And just have really had an affinity and a desire to see career opportunities for kids, and especially in the ag world, because we're at the heart of in the center of agriculture in this country.
Oh yes, number one in the state. The Division of Career and Technical Education is now part of the Arkansas Department of Education. How important and beneficial has that transition been, flipping it over?
Well, it's been critical, and it's been very helpful. I mean, we've seen a number of success stories already, and that was part of that 2019 initiative by Governor Hutchinson. Since the division has come under the ADE, we've been able to work together, really breaking down those barriers that could have gotten in the way and did sometimes get in the way in the past. I'll give you an example. One of the reasons that a lot of our students shied away from CTE courses in high school was that they didn't have weighted credit. And if you're wanting to be a valedictorian, or if you're competing for scholarships, you want that weighted credit, that 5.0 for an A, and they didn't have that option. So they would choose to take other courses. Well, now we have a number of CTE courses that have weighted credit. So growing options and the work that we've been able to do with career and technical education under that umbrella has really been helpful.
Well, that's great. You know, we still want to encourage every child to go to college and get a college degree. But just because you don't go to college doesn't mean you can't be successful, that you can't be a difference maker. Absolutely. You know, just like you're right on top of the Loan Up Business Academy, what's going on there, partnering with ASU, so that, you know, the kids can start taking classes, they can graduate and already have credits.
That's right. The Loan Up Business Academy is a great example, and really the reason it's going to be successful and already is being successful is that community partnership. I mean, that's critical. Community partnerships are essential to succeeding in programs like that. Saline County, they've opened a new technical center down there as well. Again, partnerships with the county, with the cities, with the school districts, and the surrounding businesses. You know, it's not just college education now. It's really called post-secondary,
yes,
after high school, and we want all of our students to have some type of post-secondary credential. It's something you can build on. Doesn't mean you automatically have to go get a 4-year degree. You can start with a certificate, some type of career readiness or technical certificate. Build on that over time. We want our students to understand that lifelong learning is important. You can go back to school. You can go back and get that 2-year or 4-year degree, but you can also be successful in the workforce with some type of post-secondary certificate.
Absolutely. You mentioned CTE programs. The CTE programs, trade schools, and apprenticeship programs have always been very important, you know, workforce pathways for students. Let's talk about how that importance has grown. Okay, we kind of got away from it, and now we're kind of coming back to it.
We did go away from it for a while, and really having a emphasis on getting that 4-year degree. And as you said, Mike, that is still very important.
Sure it is.
But really, education can be a pathway, and multiple on-ramps, off-ramps, and opportunities along that pathway. CTE courses are absolutely essential. We need a workforce that's not just able to step into the workforce, but a workforce that companies can depend on to be the new creators, to be those innovators. And CTE courses really provide that foundation for what those future innovators are going to be.
That's exactly right. And, you know, at the Lone Oak Business Academy, and I keep bringing that up, you know, because I've had a little bit to do with it, but working with you too. And but it's also about partnering. You mentioned it with business owners, with farmers and ranchers, okay? Because, you know, kids can sit in the classroom, listen to the instructor, watch a video, and they think they want to do this until they get their hands dirty. Right. But with mentorships, and I'm on the Farm Bureau board, Farm Bureau is all in. They want to help. There's a lot of businesses and a lot of business owners I've talked to that are all in, that are interested in mentorships, letting the kids come in to the, you know, like our dealerships, you know, see if you really want to do this or not. Go to the farm, kind of, you know, check rice water with some of the farmers, get on the tractors, the combines, come to the ranches, check the cows. You can figure out real quick, yes, I love this, or no, it's not what I thought it was. I want to do something different. But we've you know, that a mentorship, then it could turn into an internship. Right. And that's where our, you know, our next employees are coming from. Really about taking that classroom learning and putting it in an applied setting. And that's where these partnerships take place, where you can see what this looks like. What does math look like in the real world? Yes. Not just sitting there in a classroom. Yeah, I mean, that is so important today, that we teach these kids these fundamentals. Yeah, and you know, talking about getting your hands dirty, things have changed. Mm-hmm. There are more kids that are sitting in their house, you know, playing computer games or something like that. In the past, you were out there tearing things up, putting them back together. Mm-hmm. We don't see that as much anymore. Mm-hmm. But that spark is still there. Sure, that doesn't change the spark. So we have to expose students to what those opportunities are out there, and those internships are really a good way to do that. It's a great way to do it, and Lone Oak School District's doing it. There's other school districts throughout the states doing it. And at the Lone Oak Business Academy grand opening, I was talking to the governor, and before, I had heard 1 out of 7 jobs in the state of Arkansas is directly related to agriculture. Asa told me that now it's 1 out of 5 jobs in the state of Arkansas is directly related to agriculture. So the timing has never been better for us to promote trade schools and business academies and things like that, and give these kids other options. We want them to go to college, but if they don't, let's give the kids other options. Absolutely. Get them on a path to productive work. That's it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Your tractor, Kate?
Yep.
What's it do?
Everything.
Bale?
Can do.
Mow?
Can do.
Pull?
Can do.
Plow, harrow, dig, haul, and scoop?
Can do.
How about...
Can do.
What about...
Can do.
Since 1921, we've been supporting rice farmers across America. These are the farmers who own our co-op, who prosper together, striving to do more for their communities, going deeper, working smarter, growing stronger. That's how we make good even better. That good comes from the time and toil they're passing down of a way of life that supports not only their families, but families all over the world. So the world can be served with great food. Riceland. United, we grow.
Now's the time to get a great deal on the powerfully versatile Kubota M7, featuring up to 168 horsepower, superior loader lift capacity, easy-to-use controls, all-day comfort, and your choice of a 30x15 semi-power shift or Kubota variable transmission. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes while getting the Kubota M7 tractor for 0 down and 0% APR for 60 months plus $8,000 loyalty cash reward.
As a farmer, your work is built on a promise to the land and your community. At Farm Bureau, we understand the needs of farmers and ranchers. Protecting your way of life is our mission. We've created an insurance policy that protects everything farmers rely on. We call it Ag Promise. It's a pledge that hasn't changed in more than 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Call your Farm Bureau agent today.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle, looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
This way of life demands well-built equipment, proven and adaptable tractors that can change with the job, hay tools born from the strength of our 100-year legacy, durable sidekick utility vehicles that cover more ground at speeds up to 40 miles per hour, and comfortable, productive SSV skid steers. For all your farming needs, Kubota equipment is built right, built ready. Visit your local dealer today.
Welcome back to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm with Arkansas Secretary of Education, Mr. Johnny Cte. Okay, Johnny, what are some examples of the K-12 KTC programs that are thriving, and what makes them a success?
Well, obviously our ag programs are thriving. Not everywhere. You know, there are some communities and schools that over time have had to cut back, and sometimes those are the programs that get cut back. We are really encouraging schools to get back into those programs.
Yeah, we need to do that.
You know, I was just out at the state fair a few weeks ago, and it was really encouraging because there were over 3,000 students from all over the state that came, Barton Coliseum, for the CTSO, the Student Technical Organization programs, and it was a very strong representation. You think about FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. You think about our FCCLA, our FFA, our Skills USA group. I mean, there are a number of student organizations, and they all represent CTE coursework and activities. And you know, when you think about 3,000 students filling up Barton Coliseum, representing all walks of life, all communities, big and small, it really is encouraging to see the strength of those programs. And we're working hard to make sure they continue to get stronger. We don't want to rest. Part of our work at the Department of Education with CTE being under our umbrella now is to look for opportunities to grow those. We're really encouraged by what we're seeing and hearing from the field.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you know, we was talking about the Business Academy in Lone Oak, but there's also a medical professions class there too.
Right.
So yes, we want to promote and push agriculture, but there's other opportunities for school districts throughout the state to pick up other options. You know, there are electrical schools and everything.
There are opportunities across the spectrum for students, and really it's about what lights that fire for those students. What creates that spark inside that, you know, talking about medical. I've talked to students that the first time they went in and had to deal with something that had blood on it, they said, I'm out. You know, they didn't want that. But they learned early that they didn't want to pursue that, and they could pursue something else. That's the great thing about having these technical programs in our schools. It gives students opportunity to see what's there, what they can do with it, whether they want to be an LPN or a registered nurse, even go on to med school.
That's right.
So those opportunities really are endless. We just have to make sure the students know what they are, and they get the opportunity to see, to feel, to hear, to really get in and understand what is before them so they can make an educated choice. And it's about parents too. We want parents to understand.
That's right.
That the business academies, the technical centers around the state, if parents don't understand what the opportunities are in those courses, they may be resistant. You know, they may think, well, my kid needs to go to college. No, you can. I have family members that are in apprenticeships in plumbing. I guarantee you they're going to do very well.
I guarantee you.
As a plumber, electrician, whatever it might be. We just need to educate people because, you know, you mentioned it earlier, we have parents that may not have had those opportunities as we moved away from it as a state and as a society, but now they get to re-engage, and we want to re-engage the parents so that they can see what their kids can achieve through these programs.
And we want to encourage all the parents to reach out to their school districts the superintendent's office or their ag teachers and ask them what opportunities are out there for their kids. Okay?
Absolutely.
And yes, it can really be based about juniors and seniors, but it really needs to start in junior high and working with the kids and trying to figure out what they're really interested in, what are you passionate about, what do you really want to do.
We're really pushing some of that down to the middle school level.
Yes.
The computer science, the technical skills, those work-based skills that kids need. If you don't have those, really introduction to those in 6th, 7th grade, you're going to miss opportunities along the way. And that's one of the exciting things about in Arkansas and the governor's computer science initiative. You think about the technology now that is used in farming and agriculture.
Yeah.
Not just in the equipment, but just how you manage your crops, how you manage your livestock. All of those things now can be done on an iPhone app or an Android app. There's so many of those things. Well, we've got a generation of Arkansas students now that are getting exposed to computer science that can be the students that develop those new technologies down the road. The governor just said at an event in Earl, talked about how you can, with high-speed internet, you can sit on your front porch, you can work for a company in San Francisco, New York, Dallas, or India. But that's another aspect of the importance of high-speed broadband, high-speed internet, and students knowing how to use it, because it has agricultural applications like we've never seen before.
Well, I can tell you, we would hire 15 service technicians today if we could find them.
That's right.
We've got a lot of kids that are interested, they're in training right now, but we want to encourage more children. Now, if you're interested in being getting into service, come talk to us. Or parts or product support, anything like that.
It looks a lot different now than it did just 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, and the technology is just unbelievable. It's as nice as any vehicle you're going to get in today.
Yeah.
Any car or truck you're going to get in today. I call in a radio show every Tuesday morning up in Jonesboro, and people text in questions and ask me different things, and that was one of the questions yesterday was, tell us about the technology. It's unbelievable. How nice these tractors and combines and sprayers and things are today.
And when they go down, you got to have somebody that can work on them and can get them back up, because time is money, as we know, and farmers need to get their equipment back up and running as soon as possible. Yeah. So, we do need students that are in that pipeline so that they understand, one, hey, I can do this. I can stay. I don't have to move off to have opportunities. I can do this at home, and I can work on equipment like that and have the technology background enough to do it.
That's fact. To help students achieve success in both school and after school, graduating high school, schools have hired career coaches. Okay? What is the history behind career coaches? Have they been utilized in schools for many years? That's correct?
Well, since 2010, for sure, that when we've had career coaches, and we're working on expanding those.
I got you. Okay. Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Tell us we can't, and we'll prove you wrong. Knock us down, and we'll get right back up. Call us risk takers, misfits, bad boys. But we know what we want, and it feels like American muscle, looks like advanced engineering, and smells like fresh, cut grass. Bad boy, mow with an attitude.
As a farmer, your work is built on a promise to the land and your community. At Farm Bureau, we understand the needs of farmers and ranchers. Protecting your way of life is our mission. We've created an insurance policy that protects everything farmers rely on. We call it Ag Promise. It's a pledge that hasn't changed in more than 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Call your Farm Bureau agent today.
This way of life demands well-built equipment, proven and adaptable tractors that can change with the job, hay tools born from the strength of our 100-year legacy, durable Sidekick utility vehicles that cover more ground at speeds up to 40 miles per hour, and comfortable, productive SSV skid steers. For all your farming needs, Kubota equipment is built right, built ready. Visit your local dealer today.
Since 1921, we've been supporting rice farmers across America. These are the farmers who own our co-op, who prosper together, striving to do more for their communities, going deeper, working smarter, growing stronger. That's how we make good even better. That good comes from the time and toil they're passing down of a way of life that supports not only their families, but families all over the world. So the world can be served with great food. Riceland. United, we grow.
Your tractor, Kate?
Yep,
What's it do?
everything.
Bale?
Can do.
Mow?
Can do.
Pull?
Can do.
Plow, harrow, dig, haul, and scoop?
Can do.
How about...
Can do.
What about...
Can do.
Now's the time to get a great deal on the powerfully versatile Kubota M7, featuring up to 168 horsepower, superior loader lift capacity, easy-to-use controls, all-day comfort, and your choice of a 30x15 semi-power shift or Kubota variable transmission. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes while getting the Kubota M7 tractor for 0 down and 0% APR for 60 months plus $8,000 loyalty cash reward.
Welcome back to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm with Arkansas Secretary of Education, Mr. Johnny Key. Okay, Johnny, we were talking about career coaches. Let's hit on that again.
Yeah, well, you know, in 2010, that program started, and over the years, over the last decade since that was initiated, we've seen great success with that. We see kids that have higher GPAs, higher college going rates, higher ACT scores. All of those are important for students that are going into any field they choose to go into. And it's because, one, they have that career coach that helps them understand what the opportunities are, helps direct them to resources, scholarships, scholarship opportunities through the career coaches. And when it started, it was really targeted to those tiers of counties that were lower income, you know, that needed more in the way of economic development and job development. Over the years, it's been so successful, we want to grow it out to all 75 counties. And we're working on that now through the governor's budget in the last session and work that we've done through the General Assembly. We now have a budget where we can fully fund over time the Career Coach program so that every school district that wants to participate in that program can participate in that program. We've got counties that are coming on, some districts in southwest Arkansas, some districts in northwest Arkansas, districts over in east Arkansas. All we have to do is find those career coaches and those folks that want to really engage on a different level. Sure. And provide those connections and really provide that mentorship to these students. Over time, that is going to help us have a prepared workforce. It's going to be a key ingredient in that.
Do you see that part growing now? Again, what's the difference between career coaches and school counselors?
That's a great question. And counselors have to be, they've got to be practitioners of everything. Sure. You know, and they deal with,
they're loaded.
Their hands are full, and they deal with all of their students in a school. The career coaches can really get more focused. And, you know, counselors, they help with scholarship opportunities and that, all those things, the testing. But the counselors really can spend more time with the students. They can really engage with the business partners in the community to help find placement opportunities for these students. And they're really connectors. They're connectors to people, they're connectors to resources, and to really be able to do the things that sometimes your school counselors aren't going to have time to do.
You know, our teachers don't get the credit they deserve. I mean, they really have committed their lives to teaching children. how, education and how to make a living. And our teachers all of our school districts and our teachers and the people that work in the school districts just don't get enough credit.
They don't, and I don't think it's, we could pay them double their salaries, and they're still putting more time and more energy into than what we could pay.
I wish they were paid twice what they make. But anyway, because our teachers should be some of the highest paid people in the country.
And we have made progress in the state. Yeah. We have seen the average teacher salary increase over the last, since the governor's been in office. That's been a priority of his. We started with the minimum salary. That's been going up. Now we're working on getting the average salary across the state up, and so we're seeing some progress there. It's slower than we want, obviously, but really, the governor has made a point and made it a priority.
You and the governor have.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But certainly that's something he wanted to have as a hallmark of his administration is we need to do better by our teachers.
We do. But they play such a big role in educating and training and growing up these kids.
Well, and you've seen it in the last year, 2 years with COVID. The time and effort that they have put into things to create learning opportunities for our students that really had to be redefined and redesigned because of COVID. Now we're getting some of those back to normal patterns again, which is great.
I wish we could knock on wood.
And we'll continue to work hard to support the teachers any way we can.
Okay. Anything else specific? We could talk all day. Anything else specific you want to talk about?
We could talk all day. I think I want to go back to the issue of parents. I want parents to understand that your kids have immensely more opportunities than often what we know about. And there are opportunities right here in the state. I mean, it seems like almost every week the governor is announcing some pretty significant job growth or new project, economic development project. What we're talking about here today, Mike, is the preparation of these students so that they can go not just fill the positions, but they can actually create these jobs.
That's it.
That's the thing we want. Arkansas has a history of job creators, and we want this generation of students to follow in their footsteps and be the job creators of the future. That's where career technical education really fits that bill.
It does. It's all about communication. You hit the key. We want our parents to reach out to their school districts, to their ag teachers, superintendents, ask questions.
That's right.
Okay?
Yep.
I want to personally thank you for everything that you do leading the great state of Arkansas, being our Secretary of Education. You do a wonderful job. We're very thankful.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
We'll see you next week on Arkansas Farm Talk.
Thank you for watching Arkansas Farm Talk, brought to you by Heritage Agriculture.